So tonight, like every night on this program, we will bring you facts without fear, without the politics of panic running rampant in the country. We're going to give you perspective and context and data and information.
The COVID pandemic has turned America's restaurant hotspots into ghost towns. Once packed French bistros, Italian trattorias, and Spanish tapas bars, now empty in the nation's capital and many major U.S. cities.
Breaking developments in the coronavirus emergency in the U.S. and around the world. The number of cases soaring just today. More than 24,000 now nationwide.
Tonight, an economic tsunami is slamming small businesses nationwide as stores close down shop during the coronavirus pandemic. This anti-aging business now putting their own life on hold.
I basically had to call up all of our employees on Thursday and tell each person one-to-one that we weren't going to be able to pay them as of tomorrow. I mean, I've been physically sick, and not from the corona.
Both he and this entrepreneur of a new airport health food service say they were about to expand their small business in a big way.
We were, growing incredibly fast, and then just saw this sharp decline, and so we made the tough decision to pause.
Millions are expected to file for unemployment this week, but there are companies that are hiring. Amazon says it's hiring 100,000 new roles and raising wages for hourly workers. Walmart adding 150,000 workers. And Domino's wants to hire 10,000 workers as more companies look to expand deliveries.
Tonight, chilling new video from Italy's front lines as a deadly milestone is reached. The country today recording more coronavirus deaths than China. Over 3,400 now dead, 427 more fatalities in just one day, and a 15% increase in infections over yesterday. The curve just won't flatten. This desperate plea from a doctor in hard-hit Bergamo.
We are in full emergency. Our health personnel, nurses and physicians are working round the clock, countless hours to fight this incredible situation.
Across Europe, coronavirus lockdowns have largely emptied the streets to reduce the chances of person-to-person infection. In Paris, residents face a $150 fine if caught outside without good reason. Exercise is permitted, even encouraged, but new restrictions have been imposed along the River Seine and around the Eiffel Tower.
We are at the start of this crisis, as I have reminded the French people in the beginning of this week. We put in place measures to absorb this first wave. It's a race against the virus.
Despite nearly 2 weeks in lockdown, Italy has seen the numbers dead and infected hitting record new highs. People are only allowed out for work, medical reasons or emergencies, and those allowances are expected to be made even tighter this weekend.
This is just a snapshot of life in central London, but compared to the lockdowns in France and Italy, the difference is striking. Shops are still open, people are still walking around, driving around. Each and every contact, an opportunity for the virus to spread.
I have a message for young people. You're not invincible. Even if you don't get sick, the choices you make about where you go could be the difference between life and death for someone else.
Tonight, 300 volunteer doctors now being rushed in from other parts of the country to help. Even Bergamo's crematorium is overwhelmed. Bodies now have to be transported by the military to surrounding regions to be dealt with safely. This nurse saying the psychological tension has, quote, gone through the roof. We're not even counting the dead anymore, she says. Doctors also making the ultimate sacrifice. One physician, sick with the virus, reportedly didn't want to take an intensive care bed from another patient. It cost him his life. Americans in Italy warning of the dangers to loved ones back home.
You don't realize who you're going to come in contact with next. You could be a carrier and not even know it.
Darkness in Italy and Spain, suffering nearly 300 deaths in the past 24 hours. But glimmers of light from China, reporting no new domestic cases. A long road ahead for other nations facing corona's deadly wave.
CEOs left their posts at a record pace last month. A new report from executive outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas says that 172 chief executives moved on during the month of October.
Since Challenger Gray and Christmas has been keeping track of CEO departures for the year, this is the highest count. So Fox Business put together a list, 13 prevalent CEOs that have given up their position for various reasons. And it kind of shows you that there's a lot more, the tide is turning here. Things are changing. It's not only corporate issues, but...
Yeah, the trumpet fell off in the earthquake. Goes. Let's see if we can zoom in. So, digital zoom, not very good, but.
Good morning, George. Clayton Sandell here in Denver following breaking news out of Utah. A magnitude 5.7 earthquake hitting just after 7 a.m. local time about 10 miles west of Salt Lake City. There are reports of damage to homes and buildings, including a homeless shelter in downtown Salt Lake, a brick facade falling to the ground, but no reports of any injuries.
That the temple was actually damaged in this earthquake this morning.
Yeah, you're seeing the trumpet there from the Angel Moroni on top of the Salt Lake Temple is damaged. We've had RBC4's Nicole Newman there live. Who are you talking with this morning, Nicole?
Around here, they're still worried about
It's a freaking earthquake!
Back and forth
Holy
about
cow.
it and telling us
We're in the middle of an earthquake, Tony.
This is a lot for them to really handle. Again,
Oh my
this
God.
is impacting 1,000. Oh, are you guys okay?
Oh my gosh.
Are you guys okay?
We are, oh my gosh. We're hanging on. We are rocking.
Yeah, are you guys under the
Holy
desk? You guys
cow.
okay?
We've got a big time earthquake here right now.
This is big.
Yeah. It's scary. Our studio here.
I just want to make sure you guys are safe. Are you guys under the table?
We're on the bottom floor of a 26-story building in downtown Salt Lake City. Looking around right now to see how things are
Yeah, we
outside.
got people outside kind of running around. What is going on? I have no idea how big of a quake this was, but it was really rocking and
Jade, are
rolling
you
here.
hearing anything?
I'm not hearing
Holy
anything
cow.
yet, but it was intense.
In the feed room. The lights have been shaking. Our brick pillars have been shaking. You okay, Lindsay?
Yeah, let me try to find some information on this.
Yeah, Lindsay.
Holy cow.
My husband's actually calling me right now.
Yeah, I've never experienced anything like that
No.
before,
No,
especially
that was
here. I've been in the
incredible.
Bay Area before, but this one.
We know that this building was put on rollers specifically for that reason, so it did shake us really good.
Well, you can see the damage for yourself that was caused to the temple. The trumpet on the Angel Moroni has fallen off. It actually appears that the trumpet itself has fallen to the ledge right underneath it. I'm not sure if you guys can see that there. People have been stopping by all morning to take pictures of it and just to witness it itself. The church spokesperson saying some smaller stones have also fallen off the temple.
Jeffrey Epstein brought underage girls here to his sprawling Caribbean estate using private planes, helicopters, and boats, some as recently as 2018, according to the Attorney General in the Virgin Islands, who describes the financier's island as the perfect hideaway and haven for trafficking young women and underage girls.
Jeffrey Epstein carried out an expansive scheme of human trafficking.
The new lawsuit is seeking the forfeiture of both of Epstein's private islands, which I visited in July.
I'm in a narrow canal between Little St. James Island and Great St. James Island. Jeffrey Epstein owns both of them. The only way to get out here is by boat, unless, like Epstein, you have your own private helicopter.
Wednesday's court filing alleging Epstein kept a computerized list of underage girls who were in or proximate to the Virgin Islands, adding that he lured and recruited them with the pretext of providing modeling opportunities. While at the compound, they were subjected to sexual servitude and forced to engage in sexual acts, according to the complaint. The suit details one incident where a 15-year-old girl attempted to escape by swimming away, She was found and held captive with her passport confiscated. The allegations echoing the stories of some victims, including Shantae Davies, who says she was raped in 2002 on the island when she was 22 years old.
I pulled my shorts up and I ran as fast as I could back to my own villa, my feet bloody from the rocks. I cried myself to sleep that night.
These latest allegations accuse Epstein for the first time of continuing to abuse girls long after he struck what many considered a sweetheart plea deal with federal prosecutors in Florida. In 2008, he served 13 months in jail after pleading guilty to soliciting prostitution. Following his release, Epstein was free to travel where he pleased, including his homes in New York, Paris, and his Virgin Island compound. Last July, federal prosecutors in New York charged Epstein with sex trafficking. He pleaded not guilty, but a month later, according to federal authorities, he hanged himself in a federal jail.
I also heard that the trumpet had fallen out of the hand of Angel Maroney, so I came over here to look at it kind of while I waited to figure out what I was doing next.
What are your thoughts on the trumpet falling off?
It's, looking up at it, it's a little comical, but it is kind of, I would say, symbolic maybe of kind of the bleakness of our times right now, as things have kind of rapidly moved into gear with shutting down restaurants and all kinds of other things. I wasn't able to be let into a hotel just to use their bathroom earlier. They said it was guests only right now. It's just kind of, everything feels a little bit in limbo at the moment.
There are elements of Muslim religion in Mormonism. Worst of all, they believe that the God who created the universe is himself a created being. And they believe that Jesus, the eternal God, is a created being. They believe that God had sex with a mother and they had baby Jesus born to them as a God in heaven. This thing is so polluted and convoluted. It is idolatry of the rankest kind. It is polytheism of the worst kind. There's millions of gods all over everywhere.